Who's this read for? Cancer. Again. Alright. I wonder if that's the best way to choose messages. Let's see what's going on with Cancer. So it seems like we are in a meditative state. Can't really decide on something. So part of manifesting is imagining the best possible outcome. Or what you, like, say you have a goal, you want to achieve it. I want to be a billionaire. Realistically, what does that path look like from where you are to there? And when I say realistically, that assumes that everyone has kind of the same level of realism or what that means. Because some people can easily be deluded and feel like that the path is possible when it is not. And they could even be on that journey working towards it and thinking that they're achieving the results they are, but they're not. So true realism is when you take account of your abilities and your limitations, being aware of like what you're willing and not willing to do, and then letting your mind imagine that path that is possible there. So say you know that you can't work that hard and you don't want to not work that hard, or like stress yourself out, or like handle enough negativity or toxicity, or certain kind of people, or dealing with power dynamics in general. If you have no tolerance for that, then you're not going to become more powerful, right? But everyone has a certain level of tolerance for the kind of power that, or injustice, imbalance that they can tolerate or are willing to put up with. If you know yours, like I don't know where the line is for you, but wherever that line is, that's a limitation. And that's not to say you shouldn't have them. It's good, because every path is possible. And so if you might as well do what you think is right and have those walls up, or like that kind of, I see it as more like a maze. You have a maze of boundaries, and the energy will naturally flow through that maze to get to your outcome. But the more like barriers you put in it, then less energy is like, and less possibility it is to reach that goal. So it's kind of like shifting it, your maze, such that the energy can flow through freely and you can increase the possibility of happening. So what I'm going to go through in here is to see, we're refusing something, but as the Chariot, as the Cancer, we always do want to achieve. As a cardinal sign, there is a goal that we're trying to achieve. So I'm going to go into a possible path of success out of an infinite amount of possibilities. So let's start. What's the current energy? No, I mean, are these reversed? Okay, the whole deck is reversed. Then, strength is the current energy. Okay, inner strength, we have it. It's there. It's a focus point. We're feeling confident. We're feeling strong. We're feeling motivated. We're feeling passionate. It's blocked by the Four of Wands. Some kind of celebration. Some kind of stagnancy. Maybe we're pre-celebrating a goal that's achieved when it's really not. It's kind of like celebrating small wins, but maybe that's detrimental. That's never detrimental. Let me think about this. I say don't be fooled into thinking you've already achieved it. Right? Don't compromise on the goal. Came out so early. I don't know. We'll see. Six of Swords is the conscious energy. Like, we're going through a transition. And then the Eight of Cups, we're leaving what does not serve us. This is kind of related, but why is the transition conscious? We know we're moving towards something, but we don't realize that we're leaving the stuff behind. Maybe there's certain type. We'll get into it. We can get into it. We're going towards, recent past, there was a loss, grieving some kind of loss. In this one, all 5 cups are down. And we're going towards judgment. So more kind of like logical, objective energy. We're getting over some grief, some loss of some kind. I'm going towards judgment. It's kind of like you have I know this happens a lot with cancers, or at least with me. You cried, you had a tantrum, and you felt a release, and the next day you're the most focused and clear-minded you've ever been in your life. So that's kind of what I feel for this. The advice is to think about your enterprise, your legacy, what you want to build. I find it interesting that these two are just both facing the same way. Like you're leaving something behind while looking forward. You're going from one end to another. It seems like we're keeping both realms in mind. We're really right in the middle of the transition phase. The environment, Knight of Pentacles, it's stable. It's stable. Maybe that makes it harder to disrupt. If you want to introduce positive change, I don't know. Hopes and fears, the Hierophant, institution, kind of norms, accepted norms, establishments. I feel like this is one of those hope and fear. Your hope that what you're pursuing is going to be a new kind of institution, establishment, but you're also scared that it will be so established you'll have a harder time changing it. Ultimate outcome is Temperance. So we'll be able to balance. I've been going back and forth about two energies we're balancing, we're transitioning between. And I feel like the outcome is this constant kind of tempering of consideration of the past and the future, of where you've been and where you're going, because it's interconnected. History informs. So some clarification on what you're leaving behind. We have the Page of Swords, Two of Swords, and the King of Cups. Emotional stability and intellectual curiosity, but also thinking. Mental movement and discernment. So you're leaving this behind. Whatever you're leaving behind, it's because you have become emotionally mature and you introduce more logic in your reasoning. And the thing about cancers being logical is that you can say it in your head and you can know it, but you won't feel it or believe it, and you won't follow it, because cancers follow their heart. And if you're going to have a thought, it needs to be connected to the heart in order to motivate a Cancer to follow that reasoning. It's just a different way of being, but it's possible. So emotional maturity here is being able to have your thoughts direct your emotions. So you're leaving something not because you want to, but because you have reached a level of mental clarity where your thoughts can change to the flow of your emotions. You're not beholden to, the tsunami, the wave. Sometimes the emotions can feel so powerful you have to go with the tide. You have been able to reach a point where you can control the waves. And this is the right move to make. So it's kind of a very intuitive energy with this abandonment card. I think it's interesting that we have judgment here in the future, the near future, and we have temperance as the outcome. They're both involving balance, but temperance is Jupiter, and judgment. What is judgment? Is it Libra or is it something else, like Saturn maybe? No, I don't think it's Saturn. Hold on. Let me see. Wait, I forgot the question I just asked. Did I ask if it just judgment? Oh, okay, yeah. I did ask that. It must be crazy to watch someone forget what they just said in the moment. Sorry, I'm going through my learner deck too. I don't know why I choose this method instead of a book. I just like seeing the card. Okay. Look, I'm halfway through. I'm almost there. I may have missed it too. Won't that be annoying? Okay, if I can't find it through this one pass through, then I will read a booklet. Okay, no, that's Temperance. Okay, that was a waste of time. Let me look at a booklet. Because the booklet doesn't identify the element. Man. That's why I have to. Okay, I have to go through the deck again. I'm sorry. I don't like to edit videos because I don't know how. And I don't know what software to use and stuff. In these moments, I think of memories that bring cringe. I don't know why. It's not a great energy to be in. Oh my god, I found it. Okay, it's Pluto. Okay, a fire Pluto. Fire Pluto. Pluto in a fire sign. Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase. Absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. Okay, I'm just gonna replace it there. Isn't it so funny how big this card is compared to the rest? Rebirth. So we're going from loss to a rebirth phase. Yes. I should have kept Temperance too. I think Temperance in relation to the Wheel of Fortune is interesting. Because they're both Jupiter, kind of Sagittarius realm. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Temperance signifies the importance of balance, harmony, and moderation. I just feel like in order to have balance and moderation, you have to use your judgment. So that's why I always get these two cards so confused. A balanced approach to life, but the judgment is more about a rebirth. It's not about the death, it's about the other side of a death. It's the new beginning. And it's fragile, it's vulnerable, it's delicate, because it's so changeable, and it's the seed of what you're going to become. And so it's important to make sure that seed is protected. Versus Temperance, I feel like, is the growth after. This is really taking that whole transition phase and breaking it down to the smallest possible steps here. Because we're not going from loss to the new identity. I think the greater lesson here is also that things take time and judgment. Because now we have to focus on the beginning, the right beginning of the new person. And then we have to nurture it and grow it and have balance. And then we can become a fully formed person. okay, I mean, how long is this gonna take, right? Like I said in the beginning that we are trying to achieve a goal, and this is telling us like, whoa, the goal is not for a really long time. Be more patient, because you need to pay attention to all these steps in order to grow in the way that you want. So in what way should we temper the growth here? Hermit, Knight of Swords, and Page of Cups. With wisdom, with the knowledge, because I was saying there was a lot of balancing in the past. There's so much focus on the past, even in these transition cards and the loss and the rebirth. We're moving very slowly away from the past. So it's using that wisdom. Like, everything happens for a reason, right? So when we're walking slowly, it doesn't mean we're behind the person who's walking more quickly than us. We have high sensitivity, and we're absorbing all the stimuli and information when you stay in one place longer. Because everything is a function of time. Time is a limited resource for everyone. So in that time, we are absorbing more information, and that comes in the form of wisdom, which I think is what the Hermit is representing here. And the Knight of Swords is about execution from those ideas of wisdom. And the Page of Cups is retaining that kind of dreamer quality, that because we're still in the process of growing, of nurturing, you have to keep your eyes on the widest possibility, the biggest thing that you could become, the goal, because this is like a micro manifestation that is out of your control. It's kind of like the microbiome, the microbiology world versus, the greater consciousness versus our realm right now. So this is kind of happening on the nanoscale. This growth, integrating the possibilities for the future. Like in quantum mechanics, there's a possibility of things that you could become. Keeping those possibilities in mind while keeping your ideals in mind and the wisdom that you've gained to develop the idea further. So tell me more about this wisdom. Like, what should we be integrating? Whoa, 4 of Cups came out. I mean, a lot of cards came out, so might as well go through the whole tarot. 4 of Cups came out again. So this wisdom comes in saying no to the wrong things. Saying no to things that are going to impede that growth. What to say no to. What to say yes to. What is inspiration? What is an opportunity? Sometimes you can't force clarity. It just comes out of nowhere. But saying no to things, cutting things away is going to bring mental clarity on what is the right path. Look, the Dreamer came out too. The Lovers, the Lovers came out, so it's some kind of choice or union, and this, I was like, what choice based off what? And the Dreamer's choice. So it's just kind of reiterating what we just discovered. So to me, that's a signal of, like, the read's over. Like, that is the message. Okay, so let's do some oracle cards. Embrace knowledge. Stellar embrace. Weird that there was embrace twice. Healing path. So, let's see what this is. It seems like, I'm just gonna assume from the words, is to embrace the divine and also embrace your own knowledge and experience. Kind of like meeting earth with the heavens. Like, you're connecting spiritually, but with that is the wisdom that you've gained from your time on earth, in your lifetime, why you are here. You're embracing that knowledge too, and you're embracing the path to healing. In order, like, that is what the energies that are involved in the stellar embrace. Now let's Let's see the stellar embrace. Acceptance, reconciliation. I argued with reality and life felt like a strict teacher. How can I rest in my here and now when the situation is so complex? So I took a journey of self-observation and found a limitation that I hadn't seen before. Little by little, adapting to the new and accepting that space as it is, a deep gratitude began to grow in me. Today I welcome in my heart a sacred sadness, a true vulnerable I. Today I finally give myself a break. Life invites me to dare to go through the dark night of feelings not fully lived because it is useless to fight against the inevitable. Much of the dance of life is moving in an uncertain, mysterious direction. I am not in control, so I let go of that struggle, move out of the way, and stop being the interference in my own path. I accept my sadness and I grow in joy. I accept my weakness and increase my strength. Acceptance matures in me when there is a full confidence that I can throw myself into the void and pass through the confusion, knowing that the intelligence of life always sustains me. I jump into an abyss made of fear, and after jumping, I begin to float. As I float, I look down from above, and the landscape of acceptance permeates me completely. My inner struggle calms down, and immense force springs forth from that place. I reconcile myself. I embrace in myself all that is coming. What you deny claims you. What you accept transforms you. I think that does connect to what we were saying about the past and the future. I think this is expanding on kind of this temperance, this nurturing path. What you deny claims you. What you accept transforms you. Embrace knowledge. Roots. I leave indifference behind. I contemplate my ancestors, focusing on their light and no longer on their wounded egos. I am now honoring and healing my roots. Okay, ancestral knowledge too. Yes, I was only thinking of your lifetime, but this card means all of your lifetimes, past your ancestors. Healing path. Okay, age comes before I. Mastery. Little by little, I feel the energy returning to my body. I leave my cave with clear eyes and all the confidence I have gained. The time has come to assume my role. I am guiding a journey, regenerating a world. I recognize my strength, I incorporate it, and I hold it in my hands like a sacred, transforming fire. I am guiding a journey, regenerating a world. Regenerating a world. I love that. I feel like that's so powerful. Regenerating a world. The past and regeneration. And then the stellar embrace. That's just like such cosmic harmony. Well, I hope that helped. I hope that held some wisdom for you.